Let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. How do all the dating coaches manipulate you? I'm going to show you 6 different methods of marketing. All dating coaches follow these methods, all 6 of them, but differently. So we have to talk about, why do people turn into sheeps? These red pill RSD sheeps, or these benchode sheeps. Benchode is the Indian word for sister fucker. So there's different type of sheeps. Justin Wayne sheeps, benchode sheeps, and RSD sheeps. But how does that happen? Let's get right to it. We're going to start with talking about science, the milligram experiment. So apparently, the milligram experiment on obedience to authority figures was a series of social psychological experiments conducted by Yale University. Psychologist Stanley Milgram, I can't see without this, they measured the willingness of study participants, men from a diverse range of occupations of various levels of education, to obey an authority figure who instructed them to perform acts conflicting with their personal conscience. Participants were led to believe that they were assisting an unrelated experiment in which they had to administer electric shocks to the learner. Zzz, fuck. And that's what they do. These fake electric shocks gradually increased to levels that would have been fatal if it were real. So this is what happened. Long story short, if I don't get to the point in 10 minutes, feel free to leave. This could be the most eye-opening time of your life. So basically, in this experiment, guys with lab coats walked into the room, and then they start bossing everyone around. You do this, you do that, you do that. And then the sheeps all walked, and it's just like, okay, yes, sir. They became sheeps. Normal people became sheeps because guys had lab coats, acted like doctors, and they boss people around. You better zap the other motherfucker. So they have given their authority to these other people. There's not a lot of people on right now, so maybe I should not, I should do this again tomorrow. But let's get right to the point. So there are different types of marketing out there. If you guys like it, give it a thumbs up. The very first type of marketing, okay? They all follow exactly the same pattern. They all follow exactly the same pattern. So this is type 1. Type 1. They start with telling you, I got XYZ results. So they can say lay counts this or whatever that. So when they say that, it's mostly Instagram lays, So Instagram lay pics, maybe from Tinder or Seeking Arrangements. But however, the point is, right here, this is the authority switch. This is because they said chopping their fist. XYZ, I got this result. Therefore, you turn into sheeps because it's the same authority switch. After that, they'll keep posting videos that follows the format problem, agitate, solution, PAS. They'll talk about the problem, and this exactly in every single video they do it. They say the problem is because, your mindset is not correct, and then they'll start chopping their fist, and they'll keep agitating the problem. When they agitate the problem, then they become the solution, which is their coaching all the time. They tell you buy their products. But you guys see a pattern here, products. And some of them may get online results because they're white. White people have the highest response rate. So for them, that's where they get testimonials, and then they upsell you to their boot camps. So what's the second type? What's type 2? Type 2. It's like type 2 diabetes. Well, first of all, they build a social media with pre-selection. So social media, like Instagram. And then they go on the streets. And they'll cold approach, interviewing women. And there's always going to be 1 or 2 tall white guys next to them. Okay? So 2 tall white guys. And most of the dates imposed are Tinder dates, because they're born SMV from that, and the Tinder dates, so they stand next to women. They stand next to women. They make it seem like it's from day game. After that, they'll show pics that's all related to whatever, Tinder, and they'll self-proclaim that the sheeps can't get results since they don't have a tall white wingman. So they deny the value, they spin things. And after that, more women will buy into this social value. And they'll keep spinning forever and ever. It's like a magic trick. They keep doing this over and over. The sleight of hand. They'll keep telling you it's because I'm a short whatever race, but they always ignore the white people around them in a pre-selected Instagram. Hope that makes sense. What up? These call me short, small dick, big brain. Okay, whatever. As long as he said big brain. We're talking about how dating coaches turn you into sheeps. So this one is more like you see this in Toronto, this type of game. So because of the standing next to the women and stuff, this becomes the procreation switch or the authority switch. Type 3. They'll post on Facebook group. So you see these guys on Facebook groups. They'll make nonstop videos giving advice. So they'll give advice videos that you feel like it's very, that you can resonate with the person. Number 2, they pump more advice as if they're a guru. So more advice. After that, all their closes are Tinder. Once again, you see Tinder. So whatever results they show is all Tinder. So therefore, here's the, this is how they turn into sheep right here. The same fucking authority switch all the time for all the dating coaches. And then they're all about numbers game, volume. There's no skill involved. So no skill. So number 4, type 4. This will just go on. Okay, so type 4 is like JT Tran. Type 4. They have about 5 topics, okay? 5 topics. And all the topics are all related to things that will piss off Asian men. They'll show some infields, of course, from their tall coaches. So that becomes now the authority switch. Once you see the infields, you become like sheeps. And you've given up all your critical thinking. Okay? And then they'll be asking, these tall, good-looking Asian dating coaches will be asking white women, hey, do you find Asian men attractive? And the white women will be like, yeah, I guess so. And then he'll ask, have you ever dated an Asian guy? And then she pauses for 10 seconds. Like 10 fucking seconds. And then later on, she's like, no, would you like to date one? Oh, yeah, sure. And that becomes a pattern. So that's the different type of marketing. And then after that, you go to their boot camps in Euro Tour. Okay? And let's talk about type 5, okay? Type 5. So type 5 would usually be a person, you try to be emotional, okay? This one is the worst of all of them, in my opinion. They'll try and make you emotional because they know that you guys are autistic sociopath sheeps. They never say the word sociopath. They only say psychopath. In reality, it's really like they are sociopathic dating coaches, all of them are. And the students are sociopathic autistic sheeps. It's usually a psychopathic Asperger-like are my students. They always get results. They're not black belt, but the point is this. First, they become emotional. So they manipulate your logic afterwards. So first, they'll pour on the emotions. So all the sheeps will be charmed. They're like Charles Manson. And then all of a sudden, now the brainwashing happens with the logic. Okay? After that, they'll show some infields. When you see the infields, this is like a Justin Wayne kind of thing. Now, you no longer have the ability to think because you're thinking, well, if he gets results, your brain shuts down because now he is the authority. So here's, again, is the procreation switch or the authority switch. Here is where they turn you into sheeps. It's all the same pattern. They'll make products that does not work. Doesn't work. So it's confusing. They make the concepts constantly confusing so you don't get results. So you go afterwards, you sign up for maybe an online mentorship, like a 6 months to bullshittery. So 6 months to mastery, which is bullshit because in 6 months, anyone could get laid. Seriously. In 6 months, if you're approaching, you might as well use Elite 30 from Marquis to Hero. And lastly, they'll force you into a 7-day boot camp. And of course, depending if we're talking about Justin Wayne, whatever, it's gonna be in the United States. If this is a different type of boot camp, they'll put you in places where your SMV will be the most useful. So maybe Eastern Europe or something. So having said that, it really depends. But this is more like a Justin Wayne type of game. They try to show the pull-in fields, and then they turn you into sheeps. Okay. And number 6 type 6, they have no proof. They're just good public speakers. Okay. So they do a lot of public speaking. You have no proof. Number 2, they'll pump 50 times the advice. So this is more like RSD. Number 3, they'll have to go to a free tour to change the environment. This is where the procreation switch. They'll show some night game infield with models that are already like recycled. So once again, the authority switch is right here. Number 4, the upsell to a hot seat. Number 5, upsell to boot camp. You see that? There's always like a ladder for all of them. And lastly, they'll get no day game results. Maybe luckily they might get a night game result. So now these people go in an endless loop. They'll keep, or maybe they get no results night game, but they become in an endless loop. So that way they'll just keep taking these boot camps over and over, going to these products because it doesn't work. Well, I hope you learned a lot. That's all I want to teach you for today. Watch out for the authority switch because the sheeps believe, oh, if he can do it, I can do it. But these red pill dating coaches are value deniers. And they always follow the same pattern every single time. There is no variation to this pattern. That's all I wanted to show you. If I can just prove that they all follow the procreation switch, and I can prove that they all try to show you infields, or they might even say, I got whatever lay counts, and they chop their fist, even though there's no fucking proof. It's all evidence. There's all evidence, but no proof. A few fucking lay picks. It doesn't show from beginning to end. It doesn't even it doesn't show anything. As long as you think, oh, he's white is plausible. You cannot chop your way like this and explain to people by chopping your fist down like this. Because if you mute the volume, there is no proof whatsoever. So yeah. Let's see. How to avoid the authority switch. Just be aware of it. Well, yes. I mean, first of all, nobody's ever been aware of the procreation switch or the authority switch before. This is the first time a dating coach, the world's best day game coach, has revealed to the entire fucking world how it's done, how they have gamed you into sheeps, because you guys are sheeps. You're autistic sociopath. I'm guarantee you, most of my students, you know, the sheeps are always 99% sociopath. They're never psychopaths, ever, because they're deluded. So you got to talk about the sheeps, and then I'll sign off. I'm going to get something to eat. The sheeps, when you look at the mental illnesses, you might say, oh, because whatever. Dating coaches, black pill, and sheeps all have the same hardware. Sociopath, not psychopath. Very rarely. 95% of dating coaches are sociopath, deluded as fuck. Completely value denying piece of shit. There's only about like 3 or 4 psychopath dating coaches, and Brad Askis is one of them. Brad Askis is one of them. My Pakistani mentor is also another psychopath. The best POA I know, because he's showing me pictures of him on a boat with a fucking 15 women. They're all like 8 out of 10 or 9. So to say that psychopaths, and most of my students who are psychopaths get more results than socio. 53 psycho got results. versus 31 socio-autistic. So number two, they're all autistic. They're not Asperger's. Asperger's like Elon Musk. They have like a monotone, all that shit, but they're more autism. That's the reason why they get offended so easily, is because of the narcissism over here. So when you look at it, SN, narcissism, and Machiavelli manipulation. Because of the high ego and low self-esteem, sheeps get offended when John Elite tells them the truth. They shut off their fucking ears because they've given their mind to the authority. And because they've given their mind to the authority, there's also like, a lot of the sheeps are very ADHD. They can't focus for shit. They really have problems focusing. And lastly, they're delusional and depressed, but they're usually delusional. Most of these dating coaches, the reason why you're not getting results is because they're all delusional. They believe that their opinions are facts, like Charles Manson. These are all mini cults. All these different type of marketing are small cults. That's all they are. And yeah, now you know about the authority switch. And now that you know, how can you defend against it? It's really hard. I guarantee you, when a person has autism, they cannot read facial expressions, and then they always look at me because John's not smiling. John is not happy, or John's not nice to them. Therefore, he's not being positive. They all have the same thoughts because of the autism. They have very narrow understanding of the game. They always dismiss. Sheeps dismiss. They always dismiss. They're always like, they're like a 1D thinking, never a 3D. They have no depth to their thinking. This is why all the dating coaches are secretly gaming you. They always think, what is the best way I can game the sheeps? Nah, the sheeps will never believe that. If I say this, the sheeps, they always believe for the sheeps that you got to think within their point of view. So if all the dating coaches, RSD, Tyler, Justin, Wayne, all of these people knows how to game you guys. They're all experts at it because they're Machiavellian manipulator. Does that make sense? They are Machiavellian manipulators, so they know how to game you. That's all that I teach you. And they always have strategies. What's the best way to charm the sheeps? And what's the best way to spin information, half-truths? So that way, because once you've given the authority, they can spin whatever bullshit lies that they want. Kind of like a Black Widow spider. They think they're very smart. They think they're extremely intelligent. But a spider always spins the web. Just like a sociopath will always spin half-truths. All of their half-truths are all lies because almost all of them talks about the red pill. They never talk about the value of evolutionary psychology. For example, a lie may be like, oh, evolutionary psychology is not true because these days, like, they might say some fucking stupid shit like, oh, because, evolutionary psychology, parents didn't meet this way because of survival value. But they won't talk about the replication value that they have. They'll ignore it completely. And the truth is, women do have more survival value before COVID-19. So they're looking for more replication value. They never talk about that. They're looking for taller, stronger, blacker, whiter, taller guys. Pre-selected protector status, replication value, not survival. Because now women don't have jobs. But the thing is, they always spin information, and they know they can get you sheeps because the sheeps are deluded and sociopathic. They're both deluded. And these guys, like I said, for the tribe, the alpha males and shit, this is the tribe, and here's all the beta males. The sheeps are beta males who are worshipping the alpha, but they're not the alpha. They're actually the wolf on the outside. They're trying to fuck over the alpha so they can take over the tribe because they're antisocial. That's why they wear a mask, the sociopaths. A psychopath is not delusional. That's the difference. Psychopaths are not delusional. He'll try to fuck over this guy, and when people find out, they either turn against them to this person, or else he'll, the sheeps, if they're really dumb, this will become a new cult. That's how it works. And I rest my fucking case. Hope you learn a lot. I'll just show this to people in case they're dumb sheeps. So, sheep gang, yeah. I hope you guys learn a lot. Give it a thumbs up. Fight the fucking power. You are no longer enslaved because John Elite is on your side. He will teach you all this stuff. Exactly. Thank you. But please do not worship me. Have you noticed I don't make people worship me at all? I just want people to train with me because they realize the student have results. Do you know all this time John Elite has not tried to use the procreation switch on you guys? He has not tried to do this shit. So you wonder why, John, why don't you just do the same shit they do? You make a lot more money. I'm not in it for the money. I'm here to save the Asian race. 1 in 5 will not procreate. What am I supposed to do? Like, if I were to charm the sheeps, they won't get any results, because I need to attract the students who are smart, who gets all this shit. Looks, money, stats plus game. They have to get it, and then they can finally get the results. Otherwise, I can't get dumb fucking, banchoed sheeps. That's what they call bancho, means sister fuckers. The bancho sheeps are the dumbest people. And Indian people, in my experience of teaching them, there are two races that have the most autism. One of them is Indian for sure. Almost 99% of them are like autistic, emotional, and they're trying to screw each other over. And they're deluded, all of them, and narcissistic 100%. Okay, so that's just the truth. All of them. So that's the truth. Yeah, I hope you guys learn a lot. It's past 20 minutes. People cannot focus. The truth teller. Exactly. Thank you. And yeah, get elite 30 or something. Oh, yeah, another thing they try to dismiss is they try to dismiss the past. Then social skills gets dismissed. That's bullshit, because all the students are getting laid right now. 2 of them have girlfriends. Okay. One of them got laid social circle. One of them got laid, got a blowjob and got laid and lost his virginity. And then 2 more students pulled during COVID-19 because of social skills and social calibrations, which is the social skills and the body language of an alpha. So much spin. They'll spin everything. That's all they do. They just love to spin the information. That's how they market to you. You guys know exactly every step now. They got you. They got you so good. They all got you. So, John, tell us more truth. That's all I got to tell today. Maybe next time I'll tell you the next thing. Maybe you'll learn all about like how my students in the future are. I'm gonna show you like 6 or 7 students are bald, and you'll find most of the bald students got results higher than my other students. So the idea is bald game over is bullshit. There's so much spin. So, and there's also like the looks theory. There's lots of students that have variable looks that still get the same results. So, thank you for your time. All the best. No problem. Johnny Lee signing off.